Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to be playing through a brand new game that just funded on Gamefound, which is Massive Darkness 2: Dungeons of Shadowreach. So this is the next game in the Massive Darkness series, and it is fully compatible with Massive Darkness 2 and the expansion for that came out a little while back, and that I had some coverage on earlier. So with this one, this is going to introduce brand new characters, new enemies, and they're also going to introduce a couple of other elements that are going to be kind of plug and play, so you can choose to use those or not in some of your older games of Massive Darkness 2 as well. And they did pay attention to some of the feedback from the original, insofar as that a lot of people were saying that it was a cool game, but that it was not very hard or challenging. So there's a number of different ways in this one that you can really up the ante and make this thing really brutal. So I'm really excited about that, as I also felt like the original, or Massive Darkness 2, was a little on the easier side, and I didn't really feel like it was a real big threat. So this one, it definitely seems like, again, they paid attention and really upped the different aspects of it. There's new door decks that you can use that are going to push it to a higher level. There's a whole new darkness track and a few other things that they are going to allow you to do so that you can make this game as absolutely brutal as you want it to be. So in this video, I'm going to be playing through one of the brand new prototype scenarios using the 4 different characters that I have included in this one. So there are 6 brand new characters. I only have 4 of them in this prototype, so I'm going to be showcasing all 4 of those and taking you through this very first mission that also introduces a few other new elements and new tokens and such that you'll get to see and see how that works. I also am going to be doing a small set of videos for each one of the new characters that I have. So there'll be 4 videos covering those and going into a little bit of a deeper dive on each one of those characters, so you can kind of see what each one of those characters is and whether or not that's one that you want to play when you get this game. So as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we continue to grow and build and produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, as I'm constantly dropping new playthrough videos, teaching videos, crowdfunding videos, and many others, hit that notification bell and that alerts you whenever I drop new stuff. I do also want to point out that obviously all the materials that are going to be shown in the video are prototype materials and are subject to change, and will look a lot better than the final production copy of the game. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see anything else around this one, or if you're interested in me doing a full teaching video for the original core game of Massive Darkness 2, as that is going to be applicable to this one, as there isn't going to be a lot of rule changes. Like I said, everything is kind of plug and play, so if you know how to play Massive Darkness 2, you're going to know how to play this one. You're just going to have to read up on those couple little tidbits that they add to this one. So let me know in the comments down below what you want to see around this or any other game. And let's go ahead and head to the table. We'll see how this one plays. Moving into the game, I have chosen to play the very first scenario in the demo version. So this might be a little bit different than the first scenario when the game actually comes out. So just keep that in mind as you watch, as there might be some variances to what you're seeing here. So this first scenario is Gems of Pure Light. And the goal with this one is to collect 3 different Gems of Pure Light. There are 4 different ways of doing this, so the heroes get to choose which 3 that they want to accomplish. So with that, the 4 different ways are the shiny stones. So during setup, I added 4 small objective tokens to the treasure bag, and they're going to represent gem fragments. Every time a gem fragment is drawn from the treasure bag, you're going to set it aside and draw another treasure token. When 2 gem fragments have been set aside, you have found 1 gem. Set aside a color side objective token to represent the gem, and all heroes are going to gain 5 XP. Then find and discard the remaining small objective tokens from the bag. Next is the Abandoned Wagon, which has a color side up objective token on the map. A hero in the same zone as the token can interact with it to collect the gem. Set aside the color side up objective token, and all heroes are going to gain 5 XP. The Beast protects it. When the chamber containing the gray objective token, which is that one over there, is revealed after resolving the door card, you're going to spawn a level 5 roaming monster in the same zone as the gray objective token. This roaming monster is the Beast, and you're going to place the gray objective token on the roaming monster's card. When a hero kills the Beast, the hero gains 5 XP, and then set aside the objective token from the card with the color side up to represent the gem. A hero's reward. When a hero reaches level 5, they gain a gem. Set a color side up objective token aside to represent the gem. The quest ends in victory as soon as the heroes have collected 3 of the 4 gems. So I'll have to choose 3 of the different 4 ways of collecting those gems. So from there, moving into this particular scenario, I have chosen to use the 4 different heroes that I have in this prototype, as the game itself is going to come with 6 different heroes, as you've seen in the campaign, but the prototype only had 4 of them available, as they're still fine-tuning the other 2, I'm sure. So with this one, I have the Cleric, I have the Hunter, the Warrior, and the Herbalists. So I'm going to be using all 4 of those to show you a little bit more of how each one of those characters works within the game. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the very first round, and I'm going to have the Hunter start us off. So with that, I am going to, the Hunter is a multi-character that uses a animal or companion that is going to come along with them. And each one is independent, so each one is treated as a hero for certain aspects, except for when the mobs come out and all that to determine the number of heroes. And same thing with the roaming monsters, it will not add a 5th hero, basically determining the amount of hit points that the roaming monster has and all that. But each one works on its own, and as a collective, they have 3 actions. And those actions will allow you to do different things that you're going to divide up among the hunter and his pet. And in the full game, you're going to have a choice between 2 different pets that you can have. In this demo, all I have, or in the prototype, all I have is the groundhog, the giant groundhog, which is, he's pretty cool. And he has his own hit points, and he has his own attack stats. So we'll see how he's going to work within this. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a move action as my first action, which grants me 3 movement points that I can divide between the hunter and the pet. With this particular hunter that I'm using, Yolanda, as she has the ability, or she can spend a magic to gain, or a mana to gain +2 movement points. I'm going to go ahead and do that and spend that so that I have 5 movement points that I can use between the 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and activate, or spend the first couple movement points to move the pet 1 space and open this door. Then I'm going to resolve a door card, and that's going to interrupt that action. So I have Dark Pact. The active hero may take 2 wounds to gain 3 XP. So I could take 2 wounds on the groundhog and give us a collective 3 XP. Sure, let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to trade that 5 in, and so he is going to have 4 health left. As I did select the pet bonding as my level 1, which says that your pet has +1 max HP, and when he attacks, he gets +1 sword to that attack. So normally the groundhog would start with 5, but because of that, I got to start with 6. All right, and then I get 3 XP, so as a collective, both of us will gain 3. That's going to be tracked on the hunter's board. All right, and then I do have to replace the tokens that are in here. So I have 2 tokens, and the herbalist has a token that's in there. And as soon as when any of the heroes interacts with treasure, then that token will go to them, or to the herbalist. All right, so I have 2. Okay, so I have one of those small objective tokens that I'm after. So 1 more, and I have gotten the first gem. Not so much. Okay, so I'm halfway there, and I have 2 rare gems in there, or 2 rare treasure tokens. All right, so that was 2 out of the 5 actions, and then the hunter is going to go ahead and move 1, 2, and use his last to open the door. And so I'm going to resolve a second door card for this room, and it's Silent Guard. If there are any monsters in this chamber, remove 1 from the furthest active hero and spawn 1 mob on the active hero zone. In this chamber, okay, so there is a token here. In this chamber, remove the 1 furthest from the active hero and spawn 1 mob on the active hero zone. So it's going to spawn on my zone instead. Otherwise, spawn 1 mob from the furthest zone of this chamber. Okay, so these guys are actually going to pop up right in my zone. Okay. So I'll go ahead and resolve them real quick. And I have some Dark Elves. So the Dark Elves are coming, and there's 4 heroes. So I'll have 4 Dark Elves in the mob, plus the boss, or the leader. All right, so they're all around him. All right, so that takes care of that. And there is a token on there for the Herbalist. And then I also have a treasure token. So I have a rare, and then I also have a Herbalist token there, and 2 more treasure. So let's see what those are. So first one is a rare. Wow, finding all the rares. And another rare. Oh my goodness. So in the bag, there's only 5 rares and 10 commons, plus the objective tokens, and I happen to pull all of them already. That's pretty impressive. So that's a good start to things. All right, that was my first action then. So from there, then I have 2 actions left. Let's see what to do next. So I could attack with the hunter. I do want to do hunting, or hunt, which says that I can spend a magic or a mana to add 1 arrow to the enemy in line of sight. Heroes attacking an enemy with an arrow gain a 1 attack reroll. So that's, I think, pretty important. So I'll add that to the Dark Elves. Is there a target or a primary for me? And then let's see. It'd be great to get my little groundhog in there, but let's see. I also have bite him, so it says once per round after the hunter performs an attack, the pet may perform a free attack against an enemy with an arrow if possible. Ooh. So it almost might be worth doing a move action to get the pet in there, just so that I basically get a free attack, so I basically get the 2 attacks regardless. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just do a move action to move my pet in there, and I'll just forego the rest of the movement points. And the other thing with pets is that they can't pick up and hold items, so there's no point in sending them in here to gather stuff. One of the other heroes will have to go in there if he wants, or he or she wants those items. So we'll see how that goes. And that was my second action. So my last action, I'm going to go ahead and attack with my hunter. So that way I get the benefits of all the rest of this as well. And I'm going to just make sure that I don't have anything else that I'm going to be missing here. So I have that. All right. No, I think that's everything for the moment. So I have a rough axe that's going to give me 1 yellow. I get to ignore 1 of the black. So there are 4 minions in there, so they're going to get that, and a blue. And I do get my shadow die for that since I'm in shadow. I'll go ahead and place that there. Give this a roll. All right, so I get to avoid 1. So definitely want to avoid that one. And other than that, the attack did not go well. I do get a reroll. So right now, they are in shadow. For defense, a claw is +1 defense. So they're already at 2 to my 1. So that's not necessarily going to help too much. So it'd almost be better to re-roll the shadow die and see if I could get something better. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so 2, so they end up blocking both of them anyways. Okay, and then I have to resolve their stuff. So they have 2 claws, so they're going to hit me for 2 damage. And my warrior is kind of squishy, so I got to be careful how much damage I take here. And then the claw, like I said, gives the 1. And that is that. So that was unsuccessful. They were able to defend all of that. But my little groundhog gets to do an attack as well. So he is going to get 1 yellow as well, but he also gets the shadow die. And he will get a little reroll as well. And then he also has +1 sword, so it could potentially be a little bit better. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. Oof, those enemies are just ripping me apart. All right, so they got 4 defense. They're doing 2 wounds to him, so he loses that. So I'll just go ahead and resolve that stuff right away. They didn't roll any defense. Well, they got 4 claws, so more than enough defense there. I did get my shadow ability to go off, which lets me heal myself 3, so it was a net gain of 1 on that, and that's it. So yeah, they're tough customers. My guys were unable to do anything. All right, so I got my work cut out for me here. Okay, so that is the hunter's turn, as I really can't do anything else at the moment. So that is going to, so who do I want to activate next here? The Herbalist this time, she's kind of a building character, so I'm going to have to slowly kind of work her up, I think. So I think I'll go with the Warrior next. I need to get some enemies taken care of here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a move action. That's going to let me move 2 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and move into that space. And currently I have a greatsword equipped, which is a melee weapon, a 2-handed melee weapon. Now, the cool thing with warriors is that you also have an inventory of weapons that as you accumulate some of those, you can place down up to 5 different weapon cards in there. And for 1 magic, it lets you change your equipment. So you basically get to equip different equipment, which is going to activate one of your different fighting styles, which is Ironheart, which uses shields. And with the Ironheart ability, it actually gives you a way to attack with shields. So every shield that you have equipped will give you 1 yellow. You also have the Exacting Edge. This is for 1-handed melee weapons. The Titan's Reach, which is 2-handed melee weapons, which is what I currently have equipped. And then the Hawk's Eye, which is using ranged weapons. Now, you are able to use magic weapons. They just are going to count a little bit differently. Most of the time just falling under melee weapons for those purposes. Okay, so with that, I have, so if your previous attack this round was with a different fighting style, I get to add a yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and just start off with my first attack style, which is going to be Titan's Reach. And that one's going to let me roll 2 yellow, and I am in darkness, so I get to roll the shadow, and then again, the enemies are going to get their 4 and 1. Now, I do have Versatile, which says if this is the first attack this round with this fighting style, I'm going to gain a reroll. So I have 2 rerolls now because of the arrow, and a sword. So I get 1 sword count towards the rest of my attack. All right, and I think that's everything currently. So hopefully this will go a little bit better for the warrior. Okay, all right, so that was, so they got 2 claws and a defense, so they got 3 defense right now. But I got some decent swords. Okay, so so I get 2 rerolls. So I'm going to start off with 1 reroll on this one. Okay, that's great. And my second reroll, so it's 2 claws. I'm going to go ahead and reroll one of these. Hopefully it rolls something a little different. All right, that's great. Awesome. So I have 2 defense. So it's basically just straight down to damage here. So I have 6 plus the 1 sword here for 7 damage. And then they're going to reduce that by 2. So 5 damage gets through. That's going to take out 2 minions. And it's going to put a wound on a 3rd minion. So that was very, very successful. It gives me 2 XP. Did a total of 5 wounds, so that's going to upgrade Titan's Reach to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that unlocks its 1st level ability, which is going to affect any fighting style. It gives me, on attacks, I get +1 yellow. So that's pretty nice. All right, so from there, I will go ahead. So I could do Ironheart because I do have a shield. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch to that. So I'll spend the magic. So that costs me 1. And that lets me switch out my equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the great sword out for a shield. give me a little bit more defense too, potentially, if there's any enemies left after this. And then I will go ahead and attack. So now that I'm in Iron Heart, I get 1 yellow for that. I'm going to get 1 yellow for any style now. And then I also get a yellow because my previous attack this round was with a different fighting style. So I get all 3 yellow. I'll get my shadow die. And now they're down to 2 minions. So they got only 2 dice, 2 black, and still the blue. Okay, all right, so still pretty good. All right, and then I do have 1 reroll thanks to the arrow, which I might want to reroll that and see what if I can get something else here. Nope, but that's all right. So then resolving, so there's 2 claws, so it's 2 damage that I can't defend against. And then I do get a magic back. And then I got 2, 3, 4, 5 swords, and they have no defense, and I don't get the bonus from versatile, as that only affects the first attack. So I'm just doing 5 wounds, but that's okay. 1 of those will go on here, so that will take out that 3rd minion. And this hunter just got hooked on there. So that'll take out the 3rd minion. 2 more will take out the final minion. And then the last couple will take out the leader. So again, it was a total of 5 wounds. And so I will get to go up in the Iron Heart as well to 5, which is going to unlock its first ability, which says that all styles defense, I get +1 blue. So that's pretty good. Okay. And then I also get all of the rewards for that. So I took out 2 more plus the leader. So he gets me an extra 2. And then everybody else is going to get 2 because the leader got destroyed. And then I also get... So that was the Dark Elves. So the Herbalist is going to get the blue. And this goes back to the Hunter. I get a rare treasure, and then I also get this. So this is a sickle. It's a one-hander. On the attack, I get to re-roll 2 enemy dice, the 2 black enemy dice. And it gives me 1 sword. Or 1 yellow die for attacking. So I could hold on to this. Or I could give it to the Hunter, as the Hunter really needs some bump, so a little bit of a bump there. But it's either ignoring a black or getting to reroll 2 black. Well, let's go ahead and see what else I pull here, because I do get a rare. And I get the Talisman of Fortune. An attack, I can spend 2 mana to flip the shadow die to any result. Whoa. That could be pretty powerful. So yeah, I guess I will hold on to that. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and give the sickle to the Hunter for right now. So he's going to go ahead and equip that instead. And I'll go ahead and pop that other one out for the moment. And that is the warrior's turn, as that was his 3 actions. I moved and attacked twice. So from there, then I will go with the... Who do I want to go with next? Let's go ahead and do the Cleric next. So let me see what I have. So with the Cleric, I can spend 2 mana to activate one of my god cards, except for the last one. So she has basically a revolving kind of tablet that she can cast these different god things from and be able to carry out those different things. So let's see what I have here. So the Divine Intervention actually would be probably pretty decent at this point. It says that I can place X of my divine tokens on any zone in line of sight. All heroes have anytime discard 1 divine token from your zone to heal to yourself only. Okay, so And any zone in line of sight. Okay, so it has to be zones. Okay, interesting. Heal X divided as you wish between heroes in line of sight. You may spend 1 mana to divide between heroes in your tile instead. So it'd basically be 3 to be able to divide it up between heroes in my tile. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Cleric. And I mean, honestly, I think at this point it's more beneficial just to kind of go and try to pick up some of these treasures. So this actually goes back into the bag. Almost missed that. And the Cleric is going to go ahead and go 1, 2 as her first action. Second action, I'll move into here and collect 1 as my second part, which also gets the Herbalist's an herb. And this will go back in. And then I'm going to go do my third action as well to pick this up and then move back here. So I basically get 2 rares. And so I have a gemstone amulet. It's a ring or accessory. And it's an action, distribute 3 magic among heroes in your zone. Oh, okay. Or I have arcane hourglass, which is another accessory basically. Anytime each hero may move 1 zone. Oh man, these are both really good. Well, I guess I'm going to do the arcane hourglass for the moment, and then I'll hold on to this other one because that one would be great to get to somebody else. And I'm going to go ahead and activate it because it's at any time it says. So each hero may move 1 zone. So I'm going to move the Herbalist up, and I'll go ahead and move the Cleric back. The other 2, I'm actually kind of okay with where they're at because, well, that magic's coming. So that's only 1 zone away. They're going to move 1 and 2, so they won't be able to attack this turn if I don't move up. So I'm actually okay where I'm at. So I think I'm just going to forego those other 2 because it is May. All right, and that is all my Cleric's actions. So her turn is done. So now it's over to the Herbalist to go. And so the Herbalist starts off by getting to harvest 1 of each one of the resources on her area. So she's going to be planting those to be able to harvest those in later turns. And then she'll have her collection that she gets to use to activate abilities and then also buy different potions. And the first time she buys a potion, she doesn't actually know what that potion is. Now with this particular character, Solana, she has, when you discover a potion, you can pay 1 less herb. So it's only going to cost her 1 of her herbs to do that, instead of most of these potions require 2, and the greater potion requires 3 to be able to do. All right, so as her first action, I'm going to go ahead and do a move action. So I'm going to move her 2 spaces. Her second action, I'm going to move here and pick up a treasure. So that will give her this, and gets her a rare treasure. So I'll go ahead and find out what that is. And this one is a cutlass, and this is a pretty heavy plate armor, and it gives her 3 blue. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that for now on her. Might as well. And then maybe get that to somebody else. But for the moment, she's good with that. And I'm going to go ahead and plant. So it's going to cost a mana to do so. And I'm going to add a yellow there. And anytime you plant, you can plant 1 to 2. And then you also get to pull 1. And I just added these to the bag because there are situations where you're going to do some random pulls. So I just figured it would just be faster and easier to pull it from a bag. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and do it again with a red. So I'm going to plant a red in there as well. So I get a second one there. Okay, and then I am also going to, I'm going to go ahead and do or discover a potion. So it has me pay 1. So I'm just going to pay blue. So that goes back to the supply. And I'm going to do this first potion. So it's going to be a charming potion. So I get to take one of those from the cards here. So charming potion. And then once you do this, then I can give it to any hero anywhere in the dungeon. So this one lets me move one mob or roaming monster in line of sight up to 2 zones. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to the hunter for the moment, as he's up in the forefront there. That could be beneficial. And so from here then, now I can duplicate that by doing a blue and a yellow. I don't really want to do that at the moment, as I want to hold on to some of those. I don't want to go through everything too quickly here, but I do have a red, so I'm going to go ahead and do it again to discover a new potion. And I think I'll go ahead and do that third one there to see what that is. So I flip this over, and it is the Volcano Potion. So Volcano Potion is right here. So a Volcano Potion lets me, on an attack, I can add an orange and a sword. Ooh. Well, the warrior seems to be doing really good right now, so I think maybe I'll actually pass this to the hunter as well, as the hunter needs a little bit of a bump there. The hunter's having a rough time of things, at least with the dark elves. All right, she's got 1 action left because I did 2 move actions. So she was there, so that's 1, 2. I could do 1 more to pick that up and then move back 1. So I'll go ahead and do that and then finish it off there. So I do get another rare, and this is a Meteoric Mace. And it's an attack, 1 magic. After combat, deal the wounds dealt on this attack to another enemy in range, in a ranged range. And this is a sword. It gives me 1 orange. Whew, that's actually really good. And she's alone, so she has to take it. Well, she doesn't have to take it, but she definitely wants it. That actually is pretty good for her, potentially. I will have to worry about going through too much mana. Oh, I also forgot she does have Fever Pollen 1, so she can spend 1 yellow herb, and this lets her add a poison or the purple one. So there's 2 new types of conditions in here. I'm trying to remember what the purple is. I think it's like confusion or something. I'll have to check that. And then each enemy, or to each enemy in magic range. Yep, so it'll be 1 space away. All right, that is all of the heroes' turns, as I don't really want to do anything else, I think, at the moment. So from there, then, we're going to move into the enemy turn. So there's only 1 enemy out at this point. So they're going to start off, and they get 2 actions. So their first action is to move, as they don't have line of sight to anything. And again, they don't have line of sight to anything. So as their second action, they're going to go ahead and move again. All right, so they are ready to go against the heroes. So we'll see how that works out. All right, and that is the enemy's turn. So then it is into the upgrade turn. So the first level is 5 experience points, which actually both the warrior and the hunter get. So the warrior is going to spend 5 XP to level up. So he's going to be level 2 now. So he gets +1 health, and he's going to add a rare to the bag. So I'll go ahead and add 2 rares, as the hunter is going to go up as well. Okay. And then he does get a new ability. So I can either take a level 1 or a level 2. So let's see what I have here. So I have counterattack 1. This is level 2. Defense 2 mana. After combat, if possible, immediately perform 1 free attack action against the attacker. Ooh, that's pretty good. And then I also have specialization. When you gain this skill, place it next to the fighting style card. When advancing that style tracker, advance it 1 additional space. Once per round, and otherwise I have imbued magic 1. Once per round, when you attack, apply the abilities of 1 weapon with magic. Attack from your inventory if possible. That's really nasty. And I have Shield Ram. When you have a shield equipped, gain 2 defense 2 magic. Deal wounds equal to the shields from your dice to the attacker once per round. Oh. They both require mana though, but I think that counterattack one is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as a level 2, and then the hunter gets upgraded, so both the hunter and his pet do. So the pet is going to gain an extra health, so he's up to 7 now, and he gets an ability card. So let's see, I have Territorial Behavior. When an enemy enters the giant groundhog's zone, deal 2 wounds to them. I do like that, and that actually could be really beneficial coming up here. I have Robust Body, which gives him 1 orange on defense and gives him a +1 shield. Quick Reaction Defense, deal 1 wound to the attacker. Pretty nice. Navigation, once per turn, if a non-pet hero starts a move action on the giant groundhog's zone, they gain move +1 movement. So the pet kind of goes with them. I also have Distract. If the hero is magic range of the giant hog or groundhog, would take wounds. The hunter may spend 1 magic to make the giant groundhog take the wounds instead. So that could also be a great supplement because the hero again, or the hunter, is kind of squishy. And non-pet heroes gain giant groundhog's zone, or non-pet heroes on the giant groundhog's zone gain attack +1 sword. Oh, these are all really good. I'm going to try the Territorial Behavior, though. I think that one is pretty nice. When an enemy enters the giant groundhog zone, deal 2 wounds to them. So I'll go ahead and try that. My hunter also is going to gain a health. So that's good there. And then I also get a new hunter skill. So I have a couple to choose from here. I have Action Improve 1, move +1 movement points. When you recover, gain 1 additional health or magic. Okay. Hunter's Mark 1, heroes attacking an enemy with an arrow gain attack 1 magic +1 sword. Okay, our animal affinity. At the start of the hunter's turn, 1 non-pet hero in your pet zone may move 1 zone or heal 1. And then I have Coordination 1. If you and your pet are in the same zone, both gain attack 1 sword. If attacking an enemy with an arrow, ignore 1 claw. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm going to try the Coordination. That sounds pretty good. That's also a level 1, so I got a whole chain of stuff here. So that's all that. Okay, that was the level up phases. I've handled that for all of the heroes now. The other 2 are only at 2 XP, so they'll have to work their way up. All right, so then it is finally into the darkness phase. So the darkness track is going to tick 1 forward. And that is it for now, as there's nothing else. And then I also have to flip over my hero tokens to their active side, and it's going to move back to the players to start a new round. So I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take a round off camera, and then we'll be back a little bit to see how our heroes are doing. All right, so moving back into it, our heroes have been able to make some more progress. I have almost been able to eliminate a group of bugbears, and our first roaming monster has come out, a spiderkin warrior who seems absolutely terrifying. So definitely want to stay out of line of sight, as it has some really nasty abilities, especially with venom. So my heroes are hopefully going to be able to kind of make their way through here and get her a little closer before they have to engage her. All right, so I'm ready to jump back into things. And so with that, I get to choose a character to go. I still have a couple of my characters at level 1, so it'd be great to be able to get one of them up. So I think I'm going to, I got to flip these back over. I think I might go with the Cleric first to try to hopefully work through this. So let's see, how do I want to do this? So the Cleric still got her starting weapon. So I'm going to spend my first action to move in. And she has a melee weapon. And then as my second action, I'm going to go ahead and activate Light's Scourge. So this one, I have to spend my 2 mana to activate it, and it gives me +2 attacks based on its position in there. So I'll go ahead and slide these over and place that in there. So that's going to give me +2 swords on my attack. So it is a dark space, so I'm going to get 1 yellow currently, and I get 1 of these. Actually, I don't even have to spend an action. I can trigger her ring there, and that will let everybody move 1 space. So I'll go ahead and shift these guys down, and my Herbalist, I think I'll go over here and kind of keep everybody grouped up, and I'll leave him there. So as my first action then, I'm going to go ahead and attack. So I'm going to get these 2. The Bugbear gets 2 of those, and I think that's about it. The little groundhog isn't in there yet, so I don't get any benefits from that, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so we do have 2 shields coming up, but I have a total of 3 there. I do get 1 mana back, so I'll go ahead and resolve that real quick. And then I have the +2 swords from that, so that'll basically cancel out the 2 shields there. And so I'm going to do 3 damage, which I only needed to do 1 more point of damage to take him out. So that worked out, and I will pick up the experience point for that. So I get 1 for killing him, plus the additional 2 because he is a leader. So that'll put her up to 7. My Herbalist gets 2. I get 2 here, so he's almost ready to go up to level 3, and same with the Hunter. So those 2 are doing really well as far as experience goes. And this guy goes down, and then I also get all of the goodies here. So this will go to the Herbalist right away, and then with that I get a rare treasure. So I'll go ahead and pull that. And that is a powder gun. So it's a one-hander. If your other hand slot is empty, ignore 2 dice. Okay, that's cool. And it's either a melee with 1 yellow or a ranged attack with an orange. Ooh, that's pretty good. I think I will go ahead and throw that on. And I'll go ahead and unequip the mace. So what's this one do? So you may use this as a ranged or a magic attack. If at range 0 +1 magic, or heal yourself 1. Okay, so that is also good. And I was at range 0, so I'll get a mana for that. What's a mana with you? All right, so that was a terrible joke. And that takes care of these guys. And then I also get these 2. So these are both 2-handers. So I have a bar mace, which is +2 swords against roaming monsters. That actually could be really good coming up here. So I think I might pass that over to my guy over here. And then the heavy crossbow is a 2-hander as well. So I might just hold on to that. Yeah, it'd be great to get that to the Herbalist, but actually I think I'll just give it to him. Try to keep most of it since he's the one that kind of collects weapons here. All right, so then the question comes what to do next. I could start making my way up, as that chamber there does have a lot of stuff in it. It will have another group, and I am going to be... I'll be leveling up with those 2, so I'm still going to be level 2. I haven't gone to level 3 just yet. I'm super close, but it probably would be beneficial to reveal that before that happens so that I'm not fighting a higher level enemy. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go here as my second action. Unless there's anything else I could do. I could do that to get one additional point of movement, which lets me open the door as my second action. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'll spend 2, and I'll do that. So that's going to give me 1 additional point of movement. So I will go ahead and flip that door, and that's going to reveal everything. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a door card. So I have Swift Stride Aura. The active hero may keep this card until the end of the quest and discard it when moving to gain +2 movement points. Okay, that's pretty good. I will take that. That could come in quite a bit of handy. All right, so now let's go ahead and populate. So first off, I'll start with this back room. So I have 2 there. So hopefully I'll be able to find a second mini objective. So first one is a common. Second one is a rare. All right, nothing there. So then I have this one here. I have 2 more coming out. Common, and got some mixing going on here, and a rare, so not the one that I'm looking for just yet. All right, and then I do have a roaming monster, so, or not a roaming monster, a mob. So we have the mushroom guys. All right, and they are going to have that placed on there, and then there's also going to be a treasure in there. So let's go ahead and shove this stuff up. Kind of work that around. Okay, that'll be discarded. I also, a lot of level 1, 2 items, as that one group had to take a second one. All right, well, let's go ahead and just pull a common treasure. I know this isn't normally what happens, but I need a weapon on these guys. And obviously this is just a demo, so normally you'd have plenty more to go around, but it'll work for that. Especially since I haven't really discarded any items yet either, where I would have a discard pile. Okay, so with that, their attacks are going to cause venom with claws. So their defense, they're actually fairly squishy. So I have 1 action left. I could at least hit them once. And I only have enough for that. What do I have here? Affliction, distribute X, flame, or fire between enemies in magic range, then heal 1 hero in line of sight. I have the blessing again, or blessing I haven't done yet. Heal X divided as you wish between heroes in line of sight. So currently I don't really have too much. I mean, I could do the fire for sure. That might not be too bad. So I'd have to pop this to do it. So it gives me 2, so I basically spend this to activate an ability. But it would let me give them 3 fire tokens. The question is, are they going to get to activate? Because I do have a fair amount of heroes still to go. They are a little bit farther out, though. Well, why not? Let's go ahead and give it a go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw 3 fire tokens on there. Let them burn a little bit. And then heal 1 hero in line of sight. So it's just this guy, and he's at 2, 4, 6. He's at almost full health, almost. He could actually, he's a level 2, so he does have +1 health. So I'll give him his last health back. All right, so from there, then I do have the 1 action left, so I could attack 1 time. I do have the powder gun. So if your other hand slot is empty, ignore 2 dice. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give it a go. I get an orange for that. And I'll get the shadow die since I'm in shadow. The You guys are going to get 1 shield and 4 black dice. So let's see how that goes. All right, pretty good. All right, now lets me ignore 2 dice. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore those 2, as those were 2 damage there. So I'll take 1 damage from that, and then I'm going to dish out 5 minus the 1 for the shield. So I'm going to deal 4 damage to them, so I'll do a wound, and one of the little minions goes down. So I've eliminated 1 at least, so I'll get another XP for that. And that might be about it. All right, I think that was pretty successful overall, I'd say, for my little cleric. She doesn't have a whole bunch at the moment. I do have the Divine Circle. Whenever a mob or roaming monster moves into your zone, deal 2 wounds to it. So that might come in handy down the road. Or if I get something to move them, that could be good too. Ah, there is some tricks there, so we'll see how that works. Okay, so that is my cleric's turn. So I think I'll go with the herbalist next. So I'm going to get all of this stuff. All right. And that just leaves the 2 in there for the moment. All right, so in order to do that, I could get the Charming Potion, which I would need a yellow and a blue to pull off. I have a lot of yellow, I don't have a lot of blue. And I'm also a little short on magic, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a Charming Potion, and that will go, I'm going to go ahead and give that to the warrior, since he has line of sight currently to that mob. That way then I can move the mob up to 2 zones. I can move them into here, trigger that effect, and have them take 2 more wounds. Okay, and I do need to do some planting here. So as my first action, I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 mana, and then I'm going to spend 1 to plant. So I'm going to go ahead and plant a red. I'm going to spend another 1 to plant a blue. And so I will add a blue to that from the bag, and I need another red for the other one. So those are all the other color. Need some red, there it is. Okay. So that'll have that on there. I do still have that potion, so I could pop that as well. Because I do have yellow still. I have yellow and a red. So I could do discovery, and with her thing I could avoid 1. So I do have 1 red and 1 yellow still, or plenty of yellow. So I think I'll do that to discover the greater potion. That's the last potion I need to discover. So I'll go ahead and do that. And it is a thunder potion. So I do get a thunder potion for that. And the thunder potion does move up to 3 zones and perform 1 free attack if possible. Wow. That's pretty nice. So I could give that to the warrior, or I could even give it to her. Well, she's going to level up. So I'm not as concerned with that. I really could give it to anybody. So I think I'll go ahead and give it to the cleric. Cleric she's been kind of left by the wayside, so I think I'll do that. Okay, so far I've only done 1 action, which was to gain the mana. So I still have a couple of actions left. So I'll go ahead and do a move action. That's going to go ahead and open this door up. That's going to have me draw a door card. So I have Training Room. Active hero gains 1 XP. They gain 1 additional XP for each enemy in this chamber, each mob in this chamber, so there are no enemies in there. So, but I do get an experience point for that, so that is great. All right, and then I'll pick this up. So I'll get a red, and then there are 2 treasure in there. So I'll draw 2 more from the bag. Come on, small objective token. Nope, that's a common. And the last one is, there it is. There's the second one. Okay, so I gotta pull the other ones out. Oop. Okay, as I don't need those anymore. As I found that, so I have my first gem at this point. So I'll go ahead and place that above my Lifebringer tokens, as the rest will stay out. Okay, so I have met 1 kitchen. Oh, I also have to pull another treasure, as there's supposed to be 2 in there. Okay, so 2 commons. All right, so that was my first movement point of that second action. So I might as well move in there. And then as her, I guess as her last action, I might as well just take the 2 and pick those up. So that gets me 2 commons, and that gives me a Nature Staff, which is 2-handed. It lets me, on an attack, I heal 1, and it gives me 2 yellows. Or I can have the Iron Mallet. This is an attack. It costs a magic, and I get to add stun to the defender. And this one is an orange. That's also 2-handed. Okay. Whew. I mean, that mace is pretty decent for the moment. So I may just hold on to that and place these in my backpack. Well, I could keep that equipped because it is 2. Each one is 1-handed. So I might be able to trade that down the road here and get 1 item that I could transmutate. All right, that is pretty much her turn then. So from there, now it is into the big boys, the 2 crushers, the hunter and the warrior. So I could go with the warrior next. So sure, why not? So with the warrior, I'm just going to go ahead and do that charming potion. This lets me move 1 mob or roaming monster in line of sight up to 2 zones. So I'm going to go ahead and move these little mushroom dudes up 1 so that they move in here with the cleric, which is going to do 2 more wounds. So that basically will remove that and take out another one. So that's another XP, and I'll give it to the cleric since she's the one that caused it. So that puts her up to 9. All right, and this goes away. So then I am going to go ahead and I probably should get up there and go ahead and attack. Or I could do, I do have the heavy crossbow. If I could get a couple of wounds there, start building that up, because that's kind of straggling behind there. So I have to spend a magic to do that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and equip the heavy crossbow. That's pretty much all I've got. If you haven't moved yet this round, okay, well, I haven't yet, so I'm going to get 2 yellows at least. So I'll get 2 yellows, and I get the shadow die. They're going to get 1 of those, and then 2 enemy dice now, as there's only 2 minions left. Okay. All right. Well, that wasn't super great. Let's see what I have here. This is the first attack this round with this fighting style. Gain a reroll and +1 sword. And then, oh, I almost forgot. I have that as well, so I get another yellow. Okay. And I get a reroll for that, and that's not going to help me. All right, so I get basically 2 rerolls. So I could, I'm already getting that, so I think I will reroll these 2. Let's see if I can get something a little better here. Okay, that's much better. All right, so with that, I get 2 mana, so I'll get my magic back. He's at 3, so it only gets 1. One of those, that sword, I'll lose to take care of my defense. And then the rest goes straight onto them, so I'll end up doing 4 wounds. So that's going to eliminate 1 of these little guys and a damage on another one. So that's going to move Hawkeye up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's almost there at that first level. If I could have done just a hair better, I would have gotten him. All right. And then next, at this point, do I go in? Because they got 3 fire on them already. So they're going to take some serious damage with that. Is it worth continually working on chewing him up? Oh, I do get an experience as well, so that puts me at 10 for taking that guy down. That is going to level me up to level 3, which is okay at this point. All the monsters have pretty much come out for the moment until I get to round 5 when more new mobs are coming out. So that was my first attack. I haven't done anything else at the moment yet. I do have a couple of those, so I could make my way up there. So yeah, let's go ahead and go. All right, so my second action, I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2 spaces, and my final action, I'll move 2 more spaces. So I'll be right here, hopefully being able to get to there to deal with that. All right, so I think that's it for that. And then for my stuff, it's down to the hunter to go last. Hunter is also, could definitely use some better weapons. All right, so I'm gonna spend the magic. I get 1 mana to gain 2 movement points, so I'll get 5 total. And all right, so he's taking a couple of wounds, but nothing terrible. So let's do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So that's my first thing there. Or I could just move on out of there. No, I think I should probably attack. So I'll go ahead and attack with the hunter. I am in shadow, so I do get my shadow die. The enemy is down to just the blue and 1 enemy die. And so I got that. My pet is not in here, so I don't really get a bunch of bonuses from that at the moment. So this is going to be kind of light, but we'll see what happens with this. All right, 2 defense and a claw. So claw doesn't do anything there. I get 2 magic, and it does let me reroll 2 enemy dice, but they're only rolling 1, and it didn't really matter. It's the defense that kind of got me on that one. All right, so I guess I'll attack again and see if this maybe goes a little better second time here. All right. Okay, so I do get to reroll the enemy die twice, up to 2 times if I need to. Claw, I'll keep the claw. It doesn't really do anything there. And shadow adds 1 or 3 venom to 1 enemy in the dungeon. Ooh, in the dungeon. That could be fun. I think I will do that. So I add 3 venom to the spiderkin. And I just do 1 damage, as I have nothing else at the moment. Yeah, nothing else at the moment, so that guy's almost gone, but not quite. All right, I think that is everybody. At this point, I've done all the actions I can do with him. The groundhog is out of range, as it needs to be right in there to be able to do anything, so I think that is it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with this mob here. So first off, I have to handle the fire, so there's 3 fire tokens on there, so it's going to be 3 yellow dice, and we'll see what happens here. And it's 3 hits. That's pretty good. So it's basically going to have 2 ones on this guy, and this little guy is gone. And so I get 1 experience point that I could give out to somebody. So I might as well, I guess I'll just give it to the hunter. That way then he can level up as well. Not that he really needs it, but that's all right. All right, so this guy's holding on by one point. All right, so then it gets to attack, so it's going to get, it's in that space, so it's going to only get the 1 yellow. And it doesn't get any black dice now. And both of them are pretty much the same defensively. But I go ahead and take it on the warrior. So the warrior's going to get 1 blue, and any style he gets 1 blue. So he's going to get 2 blue at least for that. So then going back, and it's duds all around. Okay, that was easy enough. Okay, and then it's over to the spiderkin. All right. And I keep forgetting with Venom, I know I have to roll enemy dice. Okay, here we are. So as soon as a hero enemy activates, if it has 1 or more Venom tokens, the hero enemy takes 1 wound for each Venom token they have. All right, so Spiderkin's going to take 3 wounds. So I have started the death. And then it's going to roll a black die for each one. And if it rolls a claw, the Venom stays on, and if not, it gets removed. All right, so let's see if any of these stay on. And just 1. All right, so not too bad. I'll take it. It's 3 less wounds I have to worry about. So that's that. All right, and then it is going to activate as well, now that I've handled that. So the Spiderkin is going to, if the Spiderkin warrior has any wounds and there is another enemy in magic range, Spiderkin moves 1 zone towards the closest enemy, then the Spiderkin warrior heals 4 and deals 2 wounds to that enemy. So that is not the case. It is wounded, but there are no more enemies out there. So then the second option is if there is a hero in line of sight, Spiderkin adds a stun to the furthest hero in line of sight and attacks that hero. There are no heroes in line of sight, so the Spiderkin is simply going to move once and twice into that space there. All right, so that was an easy round for that. All right, then it's over to the upgrade phase. So for level 3 is going to be 10 points. So the warrior's going to go, I think pretty much almost everybody's going to go up on this one. I think so. So I'll go ahead and start with him. So first off, I get a mana added. And I add a epic to the bag for him and for my hunter, as he's going to go up. The hunter will go up as well. So I'll add those 2. And then the other 2 are at 7 and 9. So both of them are going to go up. So they're going to add an epic for each one of them. So that'll take care of those. All right, so which means the Herbalist is going to get a health, and same with the Cleric. So she's back down to 4 and 2. All right, so then I've handled all of that. So now it's over to the individual upgrades. So I'll just work my way through this, I think. So the Herbalists, I get either a level 1 or level 2. So let's see. Increase stack 1. Place the minor potion token that was set aside during setup already discovered next to this skill. 2 wild, brew 1 of that minor potion. All right. Otherwise, I have refreshing herbs. 1 blue, you and each other hero in magic range heal 1 and gain a mana. Exploding powder, 1 red, deal 1 wound to each enemy in magic range. Well, I guess I'll go with exploding powder. I don't have a lot at the moment, but we'll see what happens with that. All right, so that means that she's done. Over to the warrior. The warrior is at level 3, so I could go all the way to level 3. I got lots of choices with the warrior. All right, so I have Shield Ram 2, which I don't have Shield Ram 1, so I couldn't do that. I do have Versatile. So Versatile 2 says if this is the first attack this round with this fighting style, gain a reroll and 2 swords. So basically just increases the sword by 1. I have Imbued Magic. When you attack, apply the abilities of 1 weapon with magic attack from your inventory if possible. I still need 1 from that. So what is the difference? Okay, so the first level is just once per round, where this is just whenever you attack. When you gain the skill, place it next to the fighting style, a fighting style card. When advancing that style tracker, advance it 1 additional space. When you have a shield equipped, gain defense 2 magic, deal wounds equal to defense for your dice to the attacker. Okay, once per round. Well, I guess I'll go with Imbued Magic and see how that works. All right, so that's that. So it's over to the Cleric now. Cleric is level 2. I did increase everybody else, right? Yes. All right, so level 2, the Cleric gets to level 2. What do I got here? So I have Cleanse. You and other heroes in magic range affected by heal, recover 1 additional health. Okay, so it's and then I have Channel Divinity 1. Once per round, you may place any god card in the leftmost slot, sliding all their cards 1 slot to the right as usual. That's pretty good. That will let me manipulate that track a little bit. I think I'm not even going to bother looking at the rest. I definitely like that. Anything that lets me kind of manipulate that track will be great. And then I get to choose one of these and upgrade it. So I get to flip it over to its other side. So what's this attack one do? So this one lets me add X swords, distribute fire between enemies in line of sight. So that lets me add fire as well. And this one is distribute X between enemies in magic range, then heal X to each hero in line of sight. And the move, ignore reaction damage. Okay, so that kind of just lets me move through enemies. I think I'm going to go with this one, because that damage, being able to deal out a little bit better damage, is helpful. All right, over to Hunter. I get potentially a level 3, so I got plenty of choices here. So my level 3 is Pet Bonding 2, which I do have Pet Bonding 1. Lets me increase my magic by 1, which may be good. Your pet has a maximum of 2 health, so it would increase its health by 1. And attack gets +1 sword, so it's just a little bit of a bump there. Not too bad, all right. Animal Affinity, I don't think I have level 1. I do not. So, don't have that. Coordinate 2, I do have Coordinate 1. So if you and your pet are in the same zone, both gain attack plus 2 swords. If attacking an enemy with an arrow, defender is at -1 defense and ignores. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just keep working on the coordination. Okay. And then my pet levels up as well. So now he's going to be rolling 2 yellow and 3 blue potentially if he is rolling defense. So he's gotten a little more powerful. Level 4 is where he starts getting a little bit bigger of a buff. And I don't get a new card just yet. All right, so I've handled all of the upgrades. at this point. So the final step is enemy or the shadow phase or darkness phase. So it's going to move into 4, which adds a rare to the bag. So that takes care of that. And that is the end of the round. So I get to flip my tokens back over. And at this point, this might be a good round to kind of take in between, because these guys can move up and I can really focus on doing that, maybe do some transmutation and then hit the Spiderkin next round big time. So yeah, I think I might focus on that. So I'm going to take a round off camera and we'll be back in another couple rounds to see how things are going. All right, so moving back in, I have a plan in place that will hopefully see me bring down the Spiderkin without having too much trouble, and hopefully maybe dealing with a little bit of these other enemies. I was able to pick up a second one of the gems, and I do want to point out before getting too far in this, when I gained that first gem, each one of my heroes gained 5 XP, which I forgot to do on camera, but as soon as the camera turned off, I realized that, so I went ahead and gave each one of them 5 XP for that, which didn't really change anything in the grand scheme of the upgrades and all that. All right, so moving back into this round, this is either going to go really well or really not so well. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to have my Cleric go first, and she's going to go ahead and activate her ability, which is anytime each hero may move 1 zone. So I'm going to go ahead and move my giant groundhog there, and then she'll move there. All right. So that's out of the way. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my first action, which is going to be a move action. I'm going to go ahead and open the door for 1, and I'm going to step out for 2. All right, so then from there, I'm going to go ahead and do the Charming Potion. So this lets me move 1 mob or roaming monster in line of sight up to 2 zones. So I'm going to go ahead and move her 2 zones into this zone here for my other heroes. All right, that'll go back there. And so I'm down, I have 2 actions remaining at this point. I'm going to go ahead and use my Thunder Potion next. And well, first off, I want to activate this Channel Divinity. So I'm going to go ahead and shift this down and all of these over. I get to do that once per turn. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate my Thunder Potion, which lets me move up to 3 zones and then perform a free attack if possible. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger that. Get me in there and being able to take advantage of that. And before I do the attack, I'm also going to spend 2 mana to trigger this ability, which says that on an attack I get to add +3 swords, and I can distribute X fire tokens between enemies in line of sight. They're the only enemies in line of sight at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and drop 3 fire tokens on there as well. This is all going to move up. And that will go over there. And then with that, I also have punishment. So if an enemy in line of sight would gain a condition token, you may spend 1 mana. And if you do, they gain an additional token of the same type. So I could spend my last one to give them another fire token. Or I could also trigger that, which would give them 2 extra fire tokens. So I guess let's see how this attack goes before I go too crazy and see how that works out. So with my Cleric, I'm going to get the, ooh, she's not at range right now. So it's just going to be a yellow, unfortunately. All right, so this is going to be a light attack. I do get my shadow die. They are going to get 4 enemy dice and 2 of these dice, or 2 defense dice. Now, luckily, with that still, though, I do have my powder gun, and if your other hand slot is empty, which it is, I get to ignore 2 dice. So 2 of these results I get to ignore. So that's going to hopefully help me, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so right now I'm +3 swords on top of whatever I roll here. Ooh, wow. All right, so I get to ignore those 2, and the other ones are all duds, so that's great. Unfortunately, I didn't do super well, but I get to gain that, and I don't think I have any way of re-rolling anything. Nope. But I ended up doing 5 wounds at least. So that is enough to take 1 Dark Elf down, so I'll gain an experience point for that. And then I also do 2 wounds to another one. Okay. And that's that attack. So from there, I could give him 2 more, and then I could heal 1. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I got a feeling I'm going to need it. So I'll go ahead and do that. These are all going to shift up. And so I'm going to give him 2 more fire tokens. So that puts him up to 5. And I get to heal myself, which right now I'm just 1 health short, but every little bit helps. And then as my last action, I'll go ahead and attack again. So this time they're only getting 3 enemy dice. And we'll see how this goes. All right, so a little bit rougher here. They've got 3 defense. I do trigger my shadow ability, which for my cleric is after combat, reorganize god cards on the slots as you wish. Okay. All right, so unfortunately, they're going to block everything. So I think I'm just going to negate these 2, and then they would block that, and then I'll get to rearrange my god cards. So I think I'll kick those 2 to the top and shift these back down so that I'll be ready to go next time. Unfortunately, I don't have any magic or mana at this point, but that's all right. So I didn't do any damage, but I think I put myself hopefully in a strong position because that fire should be able to do hopefully some good damage there too. All right, so that is everything I can do with her because I did a move. That was free. And then I attacked. Was that just 2 actions? I think it was 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say it's 3. I think it was 3. There's a lot going on there, but I think I'm good there. And I didn't get to trigger my Divine Circle because they didn't move in. I moved into their space. So I won't be able to handle that. All right, so I think that is going to take care of that. So from there, now the question is, do I go with my warrior next? I kind of feel like I need to go with the hunter next so that I can get my groundhog in there and see if that pans out at all. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I will go ahead and do a move action first. That way I can get my little groundhog in there. And then I will... Should I spend 1 magic to add an arrow to an enemy in line of sight? Heroes attacking enemy with line. Okay. Yeah, I think I will do that. So I'll add an arrow to her. And that's not an action. So then it is... All right, so then it'll go to... So I have 2 actions remaining. So I might as well go ahead and try to hit her then. All right, so I'm going to go with my hunter. So she is going to receive 2 defense and 1 enemy die. We are in a shadow zone, so I'm going to get my shadow die. I'm going to get 2 yellows because I get 2 dice for melee. Attack when I can add a stun to the defender. Let's see where things go first. All right, and I don't have anything else at the moment. with that as far as adding extra dice. Now, I do have a ton of abilities here. So non-pet heroes on the giant groundhog's zone gain +1 sword. So I'm at +1. So I'm going to add, I'll just use an orange for right now. So I'll get 1 sword with that. When an enemy enters the giant groundhog's zone, deal 2 wounds to them. I can't remember. I think she did move through his zone, so I think she does take 2, or it takes 2 more. Once per round after the hunter performs an attack, the pet may perform a free attack against the enemy with the arrow if possible. When you recover, okay, if you and your pet are in the same zone, both gain +2 swords, so I'm at 3 swords now. If attacking an enemy with an arrow, defender is at -1 defense, and you ignore 1 slash effect. All right, and then I have hunt, which I already took care of, which gives me a reroll. And your pets, all right, so my pet will benefit from that other thing. Oof, lots of abilities going on here. All right, so I'm at +3 swords already. And let's see where we're at here. Oh, really nice. All right, so she doesn't get, it doesn't get anything. And my shadow ability lets me add an arrow or 3 venom to 1 enemy in the dungeon. Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I do have a reroll to 1 enemy in the dungeon, so it could be anybody. Ooh. That is tough. So I do 5 damage. I pick up 2 mana. Yeah, I think that does sound really nice. Oh, and I could do the Venom Solution too, which is on an attack. I add 2 Venom to the defender. So she would take 2 Venom, and I could give out 2 more to anybody in the dungeon, including her, or it. Ooh, that'd be 5 or 3. I think I will do 3 on the little mushroom guys and 2 on the spiderkin for now. So this will go away. And that was a ton of stuff. All right. And then I might as well hit him again. Well, I get the groundhog now. The groundhog also gets attacked, so I'm going to get 2 yellow and an orange. And then the groundhog is at +1 there. If you and your pet are in the same zone, both gain +2. So he's also at +3. And then the defender is going to suffer that. All right. And he's in shadow too. So, oof, this could be interesting here. Okay, so it's going to negate 1 with that. It rolls a claw, so it's going to add a venom to the defender. And I do get a reroll. So I could reroll it, but if I get the double result, that would be bad. I don't think I have anything else at the moment. So I think I'll take the 1. I'm going to go ahead and reroll this one. So it's just 1, so it'll clear that. Okay. So that takes care of that, and then damage. So the claw will add 1, so I'll have to remember that he has a venom. And then damage. So magic, I think I'm at full at this point. I am. So that goes away, and then I'm going to basically have 6, 8, 9 damage. Whew. So I'll take 1 away and add a 10 on there. That is 1 angry groundhog. Ouch. All right, and that just triggers once. It's a good thing for the spiderkin because I think that groundhog would have tore it up pretty good. All right, so then I can attack again. Ooh. Choices. Might as well hit it again with the hunter. As I do have a couple of abilities that are pretty helpful. Yeah, so I'm going to get 2 and 1. And then it's going to get these, and then I'm at +3 again. Because I get that. Yeah, and neither one of these are a 1 time per round. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right, so I negate 1. This is a dud. I do get a reroll, which I think I'm going to reroll that, because that's not really helping me at the moment, because I have full magic. So a little better. So that'll basically negate that. And I don't think I have any other rerolls at the moment. Yeah, I think that is it. So 5 more damage onto the spiderkin. So that is 10 and 15. I'm at 20. So it has 28 hit points. So I might not even have to worry about the venom. So I'm glad that I did drop some on somebody else, because spiderkin, I think, is going to be squished here pretty quick. All right, so that is everything for my hunter. I could drop a stun on there, but I, again, just don't see the value currently, because I think spiderkin's going down pretty hard here. All right, I might as well go with the warrior and just take care of business here, as the warrior has got some really brutal stuff here that he's going to be able to dish out. So I might as well go ahead and handle that next. So I'm going to go ahead and activate him. And I need to switch out my weapon. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this out for the bar mace. So this one says on attack, I get to add +2 swords against roaming monsters. So that works out really well. That's going to give me a orange. I also get a yellow from that. If this is your first attack around this round, and with this fighting style, gain a reroll and a sword. So I'm going to get 1 there. I'll get shadow 1 and 2 with that. So that's where I'm at with that. Just making sure I have nothing else. That's counterattack. I'm going to get to once per round, when you attack, apply the abilities of one weapon with magic attack from your inventory, which I do have. The Staff of the Magi lets me spend a magic to get 2 rerolls if I need them. I already get 1 reroll, 2 rerolls from my abilities, and I'm getting 2 a bonus from that as well. So I'm sitting at 3 right now with that. And I do have where I get to add a orange and another sword, but I think I'm okay. I don't really feel like I'm going to need that. I think I'm just going to wreck the spiderkin. So I think I'm just going to go with that for now and see where things fall. All right, so lots of defense. All right, I get 2 rerolls, so I'm going to go ahead and reroll this and the orange. Oh man, double still. Whew. Okay, so where am I at? I could where was the reroll? So it was that, so I'd have to spend a magic. Gives me 2 more rerolls. So I'll go ahead and reroll the blue and I think the yellow, since I didn't get any successes on that. Still 2. There's one side on here. I rolled it 3 times. That is impressive. All right, so the Spiderkin is not going out without a fight. All right, so I've got 3, and I get an auto wound from that. So that takes care of that, and 3 defense are going to soak up the shadow die. All right, so I'm going to be dishing out 5 more wounds. So that is going to be 25, so it's almost gone. And 5 more wounds onto that fighting style is going to be the hammer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is going to bump that up to level the 2nd tier here. So it says spend an attack action to move up to 1 zone and perform a free attack with +1 sword once per round. All right. So that doesn't really help me at the moment. All right, so I might as well just hit her again. So I'm still at my +2 from that. I won't get this time this one this time because of the fact that it's not the first attack. I am going to get the yellow and the orange. These and this, and I think that's it. So let's see where we're at here. All right, so this time a little better, no defense. Definitely have enough swords. I'm going to take another wound from that, unless I choose to re-roll it. I don't think so. I will go ahead and re-roll this just to see, because it'd be great to get a shadow symbol. I could spend 2 mana to do that, though. So that would give me 3. That's not going to help too much. So yeah, I think I'll spend my last 2 to flip this to this side. And this says that I can advance 5 spaces on my lowest fighting style, which is the eye. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is going to unlock my first ability. So on attack, defenders -1 defense. All right, and then resolving that, Spiderkin is gone. That is more than enough that I needed. So I ended up doing 6 total, which is important because that will up this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, which unlocks its final ability, which is when using the previous effect, you may move +1 zone and gain +1 sword, and defenders at -1. So it just really bumps that ability up even further. Okay, so Spiderkin has gone down. That means that I'm going to get 1 plus an additional 4 XP for that, so I'm at 5. Everybody else gets 4. That's going to bump I'm up to 8. I think it's been a little bit since I've played this. Yes, I thought so. All right, 4 and 4, so that's going to put you at 12. So Cleric caught up pretty quick. All right, and then handling the effects, I'll go ahead and clear this. So I'll put the one on the giant groundhog. This comes off. I have 2 commons, so those will go back. And I've found a hunting bow and a cloak, which is armor +2 defense and 1. All right, so I guess these will just go. This one will go here, and I'll just place that in my inventory. All right, she's gone, which gives me a rare as well, which is, ooh, Majestic Gauntlets. These are part of the Red Dragon set. And they go in accessory slots. I can spend 1 magic to add an orange. Oof. I think I will pass this to the Hunter, as that will be really nice for the Hunter. And this is just going to go off to the side for the moment. Okay, so that takes care of her. And I get this as well, which I'll just place over there for the moment. All right. And I think that was pretty much all of the warrior's turn now. That was super successful. I tore the spiderkin up. All right. And then it's the Hunter is last. Or no, the Hunter already went. So it's just the Herbalist. So Herbalist. Okay. So I get 1 of each of these. Slide all this over. All right, so I've got 2 wounds to each enemy within magic range. All right, so I have 3 red, 2 blue, and a yellow. All right, and then, so she doesn't really have any bonus movement stuff. Because I have this, which replace that, and then I have that. All right, so let's do a move action. So I'm going to move 1 and open the door. I'm going to do a second move action to go there. I could do another one, and then I could spend 1 to trigger the exploding powder, which would deal 2 wounds. I also have that, which I will let me put 1 on that. Okay. Which is in magic range. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just do another move. And I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to spend the red to do 2 wounds, which just basically takes 1 off and kills another guy. So she's going to pick up an XP for that. This is going to go back in the bag. And I could do the pollen as well to give them a venom, which should do probably quite a bit. Might as well. Let's go ahead and use it. So that will add a venom token to the Dark Elves as well. And I don't have any magic with the Cleric, so I can't do the other stuff. All right, and then do I want to plant anything? I have red, I have blue, I have no yellow. Ooh, I'm gonna have to plant some yellow there. All right, so yeah, I'm going to spend 2, and I'll just do 1 and 1. And I'll have to add those. So there they are. And that one. Okay. So that takes care of that. And that was her turn. I don't think there's much else I could do unless I want to buy another potion. I have enough for a volcano potion. No, I think I'm good there. Okay, so over to the Dark Elves now. They're going to take a wound from the Venom, and then they have to roll one enemy die. And nope. So Venom comes off, and then they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fires. So it's going to be 5 yellow dice that they're going to have to resolve. So the first 3 are 3 wounds, and then the 2 more are 5 wounds. Wow, that was impressive. So that will clear the fire tokens. And 5 more wounds is going to do, 1 is going to stay on, and it's going to take out the little guys. So that's 2 XP that I can distribute to anybody. So last gem, I just really need to get to level 5, because I really don't want to fight a level 5 roaming monster. So I'll give him to the warrior and keep working the warrior up. Okay, so that is all of that. Now they get to, or the leader gets to activate, and so the leader is going to get to attack with 1 and 1, and that's it. Since all of his little minions are gone, the cleric has the Robe of Destiny, which is 2 blue. All right, so we'll see how that works. All right, so I blocked it all. All right, that worked out pretty good. So that is that enemy. So then it's over to these little guys. So 3 wounds almost takes them out. And then there's 3 enemy dice, no claws. So all of that comes off. So they're kind of immune, being mushroom guys. So 3 wounds on 1, and that's that. Okay. And then he gets to actually attack again, as that's a second one. So same thing. And blocks it all again. Nice job. And then these guys move 2, so they're going to go ahead and shift over here. All right, and that's everybody there. So then it's upgrade phase. I need 12, so she doesn't get to go up. He doesn't get to go up. He's at Cleric's at 12. Wow. All right, so Cleric gets to go up. So I'll clear that. That gets to go there. I will flip. I'll go ahead and flip this one. And I get to add another epic and a health to my Cleric. Epic to the bag. And I get a level 4 thing. So let's see what the level 4s are. So I've cleansed 2. You and other heroes in line of sight affected by heal X effects recover 1 additional health, gain 1 mana, and may discard 1 condition token from them. Or I have Channel Divinity 2. When you gain this skill, upgrade 1 extra god card. Once per round, you may place any god card in the leftmost slot, sliding all other. Once per round, you may place any god card in the leftmost slot, sliding all other cards 1 slot to the right. So it basically, yeah, I think it gives me an extra god card level, is what it does. All right, and then, so I don't have another Divine Circle yet. I was hoping, oh, there it is, hold on. Whenever a mob or roaming monster moves into your zone, deal 2 wounds to it, and whenever a hero moves into your zone, heal 1. All right, yeah, I think I'll go with that. So I'll level up my Divine Circle. Okay, we'll see what level 5 looks like at some point. Maybe. All right, that is that. And then this guy is at 4, so not enough yet, obviously. And then it's finally into the darkness phase, so that's going to add another epic to the treasure bag. And that is the round. All right, so everything gets flipped back over. And then it goes back to us. So at this point, be great to tear those guys up. So I'm at 7 now. I need 11 points. So both leaders would get me 2 apiece. So put me at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'd be really close. I have to move like the wind, though. All right, so I'd have to get there. So I could activate the Herbalist first and buy the greater potion that lets me move to 3 spaces and then attack. So I won't be able to attack, but I could have moved the 3 spaces at least. And that would get me pretty close to that mob. Yeah, and then I could trigger that ability. Spend an attack action to move. Yeah, I'd be able to get 2 zones and I get a free attack out of it. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do that. So I'm gonna activate the Herbalist first. So I get all of this. And then these go over. And then I need 1 of each. Oh, I'd lose all the yellow then. Well, we're almost there, so I think it's worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and spend those 3 to get the greater potion. And I'm going to go ahead and use that right away for my warrior. Lets me move to the 3 spaces and then perform a free attack action if possible. So it's not possible, 1, 2, 3, but that's all right. So that goes back. Well, I don't get to use it yet. Jumping ahead of myself. So that was her first action. Her second action, well, that wasn't even an action. I'm out of magic, so let's go ahead and get a couple mana and just drop a blue and a red in there. So I'll have to get 2 more out for that. There's those. Okay. And actually, I think with her, both of these should have 1 on there as well. I think I messed that up. That's the whole point of putting them in the bag, so that I could randomly draw. So I will get another yellow at least, so that's good. All right. And the Dark Elf has... So I'm just going to spend a red and use the Exploding Powder. And that's going to deal 2 wounds to the Dark Elf. So that's going to take him down as he only has 3. So she's going to get that. And I'll get an epic. And I also get that. And then she's going to get 3 points. I get 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. Okay. All right. What was I doing here? Oh, yeah, I get my stuff. So those guys are dead. And then I have a 2-hander heavy club. Probably not going to be too terribly helpful at the moment, but I do get an epic. Hopefully the epic's going to be epic. And it is the Bow of the Wild Hunt. If you already attack the enemy this round, an attack gets a reroll and 2 swords. Deal wounds. And what do I have right now? I have Meteoric Mace. Attack 1 magic after combat. Deal wounds dealt to this attack to another enemy within range. Okay, so I haven't really triggered that, so I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah, throw that bow on there. So I'll take him out. And I'm going to go ahead and buy a a volcano potion to give to the cleric. So cleric has got at least one good swing in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and move one. I only have 2 rares, otherwise I could transmute those. All right, so I'm going to go there, and that'll take care of her turn. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the warrior. Might as well take care of his stuff. So moving 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. That's free. Now I'm going to do my first action, which lets me move 2 spaces, thanks to the higher level ability. And then I get to attack. So this is going to add 1 sword to the attack, and then the second level gets a second sword. Also is going to subtract 1 defense from the enemy, and it is in a shadow space, so I will get this. They are rolling just 1, and for those, I get a yellow because of that, and what else do I get? It's not a roaming monster, so that's unfortunate, but I still get that. And I might as well pop this as well, which gets me another orange and gives me a +1 sword. Is there anything else that I get out of that? I get another sword because of versatile 1. So this could be hopefully a big attack here. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a go. See where we're at here. All right, so lots of claws and stuff. That was good. All right, so I've got 2 rerolls currently. And then I could spend a magic to get 2 more because of my Staff of the Magi, which I don't have any at this point, so I'm not going to be able to get that. Well, I could resolve that. No, I can't because that's that. Okay. All right, so I get 2 rerolls. So I'm going to go ahead and reroll this one and one of these. All right, so that worked out pretty well. All right, so I'm going to take 2 wounds, so that's going to put me down to 4 health. That was a pretty brutal swing. Those guys were biting at my ankles like something else. But they don't have any claw effects for defense. And then they do have 1 shield, so I'll go ahead and take that out. And then resolving the rest. So I'm at 6, 9, 10, and a magic. So 10 wounds, and I've already got 3 on them. So that's 1 more. We'll bring him down to 9 wounds remaining. And that takes him out. So 4 more, and 4 more, and then 1 on this guy. All right, so I get all of that, which that's already at its max. Okay. So that was just my first action. And I do have a magic. So I am going to go ahead and spend my second action to get 2 more. In my final action, do I want to switch things out? So I could go defense, or I could go offense with this. If an enemy is already wounded, gain +1 sword and +1 reroll, which it is. It's a one-hander, so I'd be rolling less dice. I think I do want to work on some of my other abilities here. Okay. And that will give me those benefits as well. So I'm going to get to roll 3 yellow. And it does give me a bonus there. And what else do I have? Anything else? So technically I haven't triggered the magic yet. And then I get this. There's one little dude and that. Okay. So that was pretty good. So now the question is, I do get another magic. I have one reroll, so I might as well reroll this. That's correct. All right, there we go. That works out really well. Okay, and then I think I am going to spend 2 to flip this, so I can change it to any side. So I'm going to go ahead and go Shadow. And then resolving, so I'm going to go ahead and resolve this stuff first. So I'm doing 2, 4, 5, 6 wounds. And I get a magic. So 6 is going to take this guy out. And do 2 more to this guy. So he's almost dead. He's got one health left. He's holding on by the skin of his teeth. And that's going to bump me up 6 on this fighting style. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gets me into the second part here, which is attack after combat. Move 1 zone, ignore, retaliate damage. Or retaliation damage. And then I also get to move one of these other skills up by 5, which is going to be the Iron Heart, since it is the lowest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which gets that into its second, which is combat. Deal 1 wound for each equipped shield. Ooh, that's pretty nice. So that would actually, I might as well spend the magic to switch this out for shield. I think I have a shield in here. Yes, I do. That way then, after that little bugger attacks me, he's going to die a horrible death from the shield effect. Okay. As that is everything I can do at the moment. So then it's just over to the hunter to go. And the hunter, I probably should just get into position to work on that other mob, because there's going to be another group of mobs coming out at the end of this turn. So, yep, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to lose 1 with the great, and then roll. Nope. Okay, so that venom goes away. All right, and then it is our go. So I'm at +1 movement from this. So now we have 4 movement points to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and spend a magic to give us +2 more. So we have a total of 6 to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and move us together 1, 2, and 3 spaces as my first action. So I have nothing to trade in at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and do a second one there. I might as well just use the thing to go into here. That way we're just going to rip into that mob that pops up. And as my last action, I could heal, because I get to recover 1 additional. And I'm at, what do I got, 4 health right now? So I could get 2 health, yeah, and a magic, because my groundhog is still doing really good health-wise. So I'm not too concerned with him. And I think, yeah, I got a lot of abilities that activate with magic. Whew. All right. So I think that is everything with him. So now it is the enemy's turn. So it's just those guys there, or the little leader there. So he's going to get, he's in my space, he's going to get 2 there. And then my warrior has 3 there, plus 1 here, and 1 for that effect. And it also lets me re-roll. He doesn't have it. All right, so before finishing this up, my camera ran out of memory for it, so I had to free up some memory before getting back in this, and I didn't realize that until I had gone through this last sequence and then moved on to the upgrade phase. So I went ahead and backtracked a little bit on that, so if you noticed some stuff kind of shifted around, that's why. All right, so getting back to this attack, he's going to go ahead and hit me with 2, and I have my 5 defense, plus I'm going to do a wound to him when this is all done with my ability. So let's see how this all works out here. Ooh, that's a lot of 2s. Look at that. I have defended that 4 times over. Nice job. All right. So from there, then he is going to take a wound. So that is going to finish him off, as only he needed was 1 wound left. And so that means that everybody's going to get 2 XP, and the warrior will get 3. So that'll put him up to 15. And everybody else at 2. All right. This guy's going to go away. This will go to the Herbalist. And then I get a Epic as well as the Repeater. So those guys will go away. So the Epic will go in the bag. And then I also get to draw that. And I have a Darkhorn Helm. So this is defense, 1 magic. Ignore all slashes. The defender suffers them instead of you. Oh, wow. That's a really nice helmet. And I don't have a helmet yet, so that'll work out really well in my favor. All right, so that's all the enemies. So at this point, then, again, it's into the upgrade phase, which right now the only one that's going to get to upgrade is the Herbalist. So she's going to go ahead and drop 12 points and go up to level 4. And then let's see what kind of new ability she could get. All right, so we have increased stock. Place the minor potion token that was set aside during setup already discovered next to this skill. So that's if I already had the 1, which I don't. And then there's Fertilizer 2, which sounds pretty good, but I don't have the Fertilizer 1 card. So again, this is just a prototype, so that probably just got missed, or they're still working on it. So I am just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and pass for now, as it's really not going to be that big of a deal, and move on from there. All right, so that is the upgrade phase. So the final thing to handle is the darkness phase. So this is going to move up, which is going to summon 2 new enemy mobs, 1 in each one of the areas. So I'll go ahead and handle that area first. So we have some dark orcs, and they're going to come with a crystal orb. So dark orcs are these guys. All right, and they've got a couple of heroes just ready to tear them apart. The other group is going to be some bugbears. Okay, so they got a bit more defense, so that will work out. I should be able to crack that pretty good with my warrior. All right, and then I'll give each one of them a new herb. So a blue and a blue, 2 blues. And then the treasures that they come with. One has a rare and the other is a common. Okay. And that is the end of the darkness phase. So flip these back over. And we're ready to move into the new hero phase. All right, so at this point, again, I'm just a few points away from being able to level him up, which is going to finish off the game. But I have to make it through this round because, again, the upgrade phase doesn't happen until later on. So let's see, where do I want to go? Where do I want to start with this? Might as well work on that group first. And so I'll start with the Cleric first. So with the Cleric, I have... So they technically spawn. So I think that's not really classified as moving into there. So I don't think she gets the benefit from all of that, but that's all right. So I'll go ahead and start off by doing the powder gun. Well, unfortunately, she's in that space. That's gonna... So I won't be able to shoot into there as range is one space away. I think I might have screwed that up last time. But... So do I start with the Hunter first? The Hunter actually might be the better option to go with first. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so first off, the enemy will get their 4 dice as usual. The Dark Orcs have 2 defense, and I'll get my die there. And then for melee, I'm going to get 2 yellow. And then I'm also going to get the bonuses. So I get +2 swords if you and your pet are in the same zone, which is the case. Ooh, I do want to add that as well. So I'm going to spend a mana to add an arrow there so that I get the additional benefits, which gives me a reroll. And so right now I'm at +2 swords. I think that might be it. I do have 2 rerolls. And then I also have this, which I could spend a magic to add an orange, so definitely want to do that. I think that is everything. Yeah, I don't see anything else at the moment. Yep. So let's go ahead and give this whopping massive roll. Okay, so I do get 2 rerolls. Defense adds +1, so I'm going to go ahead and reroll this and this one to start off with here. Oh, man, 3 claws, so they're going to add 3 more blues. So, okay, so not terrible. So I've resolved those, and this one's blank, and these, okay. So then I have a reroll here as well, so I have 1 reroll. So I guess I will reroll this. So I don't see anything else right now that would be super... Ah, man, killing me here. All right, so basically the 4 defense is going to clean out those 4, but I still do 4, which is enough to bring 1 down. So I don't have anything else at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. If attacking an enemy with... Oh, so I do. The defender is at -1 shield, and I ignore all claws. Unfortunately, there's no... Or all slashes. There wasn't any slashes. But I did have the claws. Oh, and I do get a +1 sword for this, which I forgot. So I'm actually doing 2 additional points of damage. And then I'll get to attack with the pet for free. All right, so that's 6 damage. So that is going to take away 1 of these guys, which gets the hunter 1 experience point. And it's going to do 2 additional wounds to another one. All right. I didn't get any magic, unfortunately. All right, so then the other guy gets to attack the groundhog. And the groundhog is going to be rolling a 2 yellow and an orange. 2 yellow and an orange. And he also gets +1 here and +1 there. So he's also at +3. And he'll get a reroll. And he gets the shadow die. All right. All right, so 2 more claws. That's That's not good. Which means that there's 2 more blues added. Okay, I'll take that. All right, so 2 defense is going to go ahead and clear out that. So that takes care of all of that. All right, so now I am at there. So I get 2 magic, 2 mana. Added to our collection. And I'm doing a total of 5, 6, 7 damage. So that's going to take out 1 guy, leaving 5 left over. It's going to take out a second guy and leave 1 damage on there. Okay. So that was pretty successful there. All right, so it's down to, and we get XP for that, or the hunter does. So he's at 11 now. And that means that there's only 1 minion left. And the big guy, and the leader. So there's that. So I'm still going to get my shadow die, because I definitely want to attack again. And I get my 2 there. I'm at +3. And I might as well add a sword, or a spin of magic to add another orange. See if I can finish him off here. Whew. They like those claws. All right, so I get to re-roll this 2 times potentially. Another claw, and another claw and a slash. I just cannot get away from that. All right, so they added another one, and the slash I negate, and I do punch through 1 point of defense because of the bonuses. So these 2 will clear out this. So that takes care of that. And fortunately, I will gain 2 magic. And that's about it for the magic, as I had 1 extra, but I do 3 more damage, so that will be enough to take out the last minion, which puts me at 12. All right, where does that leave us? So I've attacked twice at this point, and then I had 1 with the, which was free. So I do have 1 action remaining, so I could just hope to finish him off here. All right. He's not getting as much defense this time, so hopefully I'll be able to take him out here. All right, so there was 2 defense there. I do negate 1 of them. And I do have 1 reroll. So I'll go ahead and reroll 1 of these. Okay. And so that will negate that. So I have 6, so that will be enough to take him out. All right. With that being said, that means that everybody gets 2 XP, and my hunter is going to get 3, so that puts him at 15, so he almost has enough to go up. And that will put my warrior at 17, so I'm 1 point away from being able to level up. So I should be able to handle that no problem with the bugbears. All right, so that takes care of the hunter's turn, as there's nothing else I can do at the moment. Now the question is, do I try to go with the Cleric and Herbalist first to see if I can get over and buff him up? Well, I definitely probably want to go with the... Oh, I almost forgot to handle all this. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I get that. I'm going to get a rare... Oh, it's a helmet. So I have the Draconic Helmet, or Helm. Attack, add a stun and a burn or fire to the defender. Oof. And he doesn't have a helmet either yet. And that's his 2nd item in that set. So that's pretty cool. All right, and then he also has the Crystal Orb, which I ignore all claws if I spend 2 magic. That's a range 2. All right, so I'll just put that in his backpack for the moment. This will go back into the bag. All right. So from there, what do I want to do? I should probably go with the Cleric next. I might be, I don't even think if I, even with some of the bonuses, I don't know if I could get far enough over there. So I might have to go with the Herbalist first. So with the Herbalist, I'm going to get all of that. Unfortunately, I have the 1 yellow. So I pretty much have to spend that to plant that so that I can have some more yellow to work with here. Unless I just go for broke. Because it is, like I said, the last thing. So I could get 1 Thunder Potion and 1 Volcano Potion. Sure, why not? So it's going to be... So I need that for the Thunder Potion and that for the Volcano Potion, which I'm going to go ahead and give to... Well, he's already got the ability to... So I need to give that to the Warrior. And then the Thunder Potion I could give to the Cleric and see if that could potentially... That gives her 3 more movement points, and then she doesn't have any magic. Oh, do I have any... I don't think I have any way of getting magic either, besides doing a... So I'd have to spend an action to do that as well, which would get me just 1 extra movement point. I could rearrange, or I could kick 1 over, so I could get 2 extra movement points. So it's basically a net gain of nothing by spending that action. So I do have each hero gets to move 1 zone, which will put her here. And then if I do 1 action, I could have to go through the trap for 2. I could get to there with this. So it gets her in line of sight, but then again, I'm out of anything else to really make that much of a difference. So I guess I will just give this to the Warrior as well and see if I can go from there. All right, so with that being said, I do need some magic from him though as well. That's the other thing. He's all out of magic as well. He didn't get any magic from before. All right. So yeah, my first action would have to be to collect a couple of magic. And then I pretty much have to spend 1 to rearrange my inventory for an attack, which would be, it would have to be the 2-hander. So I'll do the 2-hander, that way then I can get the benefits of that skill set, which is that I can spend an attack action to move up to 2 zones basically, and perform a free attack with +1 sword. And I gain an additional sword, and they're at -1 defense, or -1 shield. All right, so yeah, that is going to be my second action. So I get 2, and I get to move in there and attack as part of that. Okay, so they have 2 defense. They're going to have the 4 enemy dice. I will get my... Oh, I'm not going to get the shadow die because I'm not in shadow. But I do have an orange, and then I'm going to get a yellow for that. And is that it? So I'm going to go ahead and spend the volcano potion to get another orange. So that does that, and then I'm at +2 currently from that. And then if this is the first attack this round with this fight style, gain a reroll and a sword. So I'm going to actually be at 3 swords currently. And the defender's at -2 shields. All right, so I should be able to do pretty well here. Okay, so that's where I'm sitting. Let's go ahead and give this a roll. Let's see what happens. All right, so they only rolled 1 shield, so that's going to be nullified. They have 2 claws and a defense, or 2 claws. So the claws are only for attacks, so those make no difference. That was a dud. So I do have 1 slash. So I don't think it's really worth it to spend. Well, let's see where we stand right now. So at the current moment, I do have 2 rerolls. So I think for my first reroll, I'm going to reroll this. And I'm going to try it again as I have a second reroll. All right, so that's a little better. All right, so that puts me at 10 currently. And so that would take out 2 of them. I don't think I have any other bonuses at the moment. I could spend 1 to get 2 more rerolls, but that's not going to do me any good. Yeah, so I am going to get 1 magic back. So I could spend 1 to negate this and to reverse it to them. So I'll basically do 11 damage instead then. So that's going to put 3 on them, and 2 of these guys are going to go down. Okay. So on their next attack, they're going to get this. And then I have this, unless I want to change it up. Do I have anything else? So I do have, if the enemy is already wounded, I gain 1 sword and a reroll. First ranged attack turn. All right, or I could do that one, which gets me 2 yellow dice. I'm already getting 1 though. And if I do that, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend the magic to switch. I'm going to switch it up and go single-handed. See if that'll change some stuff up. So I'm going to get a yellow. I get a yellow here and a yellow there. And I get +1 here. So I got 1 there. I think that might be it. So I'm just at +1, I think, bonus at this point, because this doesn't count. Yeah, I don't have anything else. So I'm counting that and not the other. Okay. All right, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so I've got 1 slash. They got 1 shield, but I negate that. So I don't have to worry about that. Now the question is, I get 1, 2 rerolls. Is there... I'll go ahead and try to reroll one of these. All right, so that works out because that's only going to affect attacks, so that nullifies that. I have 1 reroll left. Do I risk? Sure. Okay, so that's not so bad. So I've got 5 damage and a magic. So I get 1 magic, and I'm doing 5 damage to them. 4 is going to take them out, and the 1 will finish off that guy. So both of the minions have gone down now. All right, and I don't know if I counted that from before, so he's done 4 damage. So 1, 2, so he's at 21 now. And so I did, my first action was to get magic. My second action was to do that. My third action was the attack, so I could spend the Thunder Potion to get a free attack action and finish this guy off. And then that's a clean sweep of the dungeon before we go. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm still going to get my 3 up. I forgot to up that too. So it's going to be the 2 swords. So that's going to bump this ability up all the way. So this is going to add +2 swords if you already attacked this round, +3 instead. Wow. All right, so I get 3 for that. And this enemy is not really considered wounded at this point. So I'm just going to have the 3, and then he just gets 2 defense. So a lot less, but we'll see what happens here. I'm already doing 3 to him. And I negate that with my ability. So I'm do 6, and I get 2 magic. So I'm back up with the magic. And that is enough to take him down. So the leader is gone. Everybody gets 2. And he's going to get 3. Which puts him at 17, and this guy's at 24. So that will be enough to level him up. And upon the level, so that's it for the enemies, or for my guys. I'm just going to pass with the others that haven't gone yet, the Cleric and that. There's no point. So enemies would activate. There are no enemies out, so then it is in the upgrade phase. And I need 18, so I'll have 6 points left. So that is level 5, and that should do it. Let me double check here and make sure that that is correct. But I'm pretty sure. All right, so I need 3 gems. And the hero's reward. When a hero reaches level 5, they gain a gem. Set a objectives token side up. And gems of pure light. The quest ends in victory as soon as the heroes have collected 3 out of the 4 gems. So that will do it. And well, with the help of the new Lightbringers, that scenario was a piece of cake. I had a great time destroying everything, and there's some really cool new abilities with those new Lightbringers. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, or if you happen to see if I did anything wrong. I love hearing from you and starting a conversation. And let me know as well if this is one that you picked up or backed, and what you're most excited about with this one. And again, if there's anything else you want to see around this game or any others. Until next time, I'll see you later.